see how you can build an employee evaluation scoring system. I want to create something else from scratch. Let's create it right from here. So for employee evaluation system, we have this form, and here, let's rename it. Oh, it's evaluation form because it's going to be a form. Let's say we ask for the employee name, maybe their employee ID, and different information about the employee, their email and stuff. And next, let's ask for the performance. And maybe we want to have a score field, NPS score, and let's say um, maybe performance rating, right? So for this performance rating, let's say it's going to be from 1 to 5. So as you see here, it changed to 1 to 5, and the user, maybe the manager, can rate the performance of the employee from 1 to 5 this way. Another field, cool field that you can use is the CSAT field or rating field. So maybe in this case, we want to ask for goals achievement score. So goals achievement score is like how well did the employee achieve their goals. So this can be one of the things that you can ask in your form. You can customize it however you want with the heart shape or star shape or faces. And of course, you can add many more questions to your form. Let's add one more for with rating again, maybe overall performance. So the overall performance of the employee. You can add maybe long text field for more explanation, maybe more comments on employees' performance, right? And so the manager can enter their information. So let's get to logic and see how you can evaluate automatically and automate the evaluation process so nobody has to like read them one by one and do things manually. So in this case, you can add a rating, add a logic rule for performance rating, and let's say if actually, let me refresh. Yeah, I think. Okay. So let's add a rule for this and say if the performance rating is maybe 1, then I want to add 1 point to. Okay, again, we don't have a variable here, right? So let's add a variable field for evaluating and calculating the score automatically. Let's say employee performance. So this is the variable for employee performance, and you can show it and you can use it in your logic. Let's say if performance rating is equal to 1, I want to add 1 point to employee performance. And another one for if it was 2, then I want to add 2 points to performance, and as so on and so forth. If it was 3, add 3, and 4 and 5. Add 4 to performance and yeah. So here we added scores to, oh, yeah, here, let's remove this. Okay, so here we added scores to each of the options here. So if the employee had a score rating of 1, we will add 1 point to performance, 2 points, and 3 points, and blah, blah, blah. So maybe you want to categorize your employee evaluation form into different categories like performance, goal achievements, overall performance. And under each section, you have different questions that calculates the performance. For example, in the performance category, you have 10 questions about the performance of the employee. And if the performance comes to a specific number, the performance score comes to a specific number, then the employee passes the performance test. And same for achievements, goal achievements, same for overall performance. So you can categorize your form into different sections. As I showed you, you can add a new page to your form, and like let's add a new page. And here in the new page, you can move each of the questions to the new page like this. You can add a header for your page like this. Let's move it up. And for example, let's say, oh, I forgot to move it up. Yeah, so let's say performance evaluation, right? So this section is performance evaluation. You can add another section for another thing. Let's say this page is for goals evaluation. Let's add a content field, and yeah, so you can section and categorize your questions and evaluate the employee based on those sections. So this is the performance rating, this is the goals evaluation, and this is the overall performance evaluation. And for each of these sections, you can calculate a specific score. Let's say this is employee performance. Let's say here we want to add another variable for goals score, right? So this is the score for goals. And here I will add a new rule. Let's say if it's greater than or equal to 3, then add 3 points to goal score. Otherwise, they won't get any point. So in this case, the employee will get 3 points from goals evaluation. You can add more questions to have a number for the goals score. And same for overall performance. Maybe we should rename it to overall performance. So this is calculated here, and let's say is oh, actually we use this. We use this on the first logic, so I will move it up. I made performance rating. So because we used it in this logic, remember, we said if it's 1, add 1 to performance rating, and etc. So this variable is calculating the performance rating. This is the goals rating, and maybe here we have an overall rating. And in the end, we want to calculate and add all of these ratings and have a total rating, right? So let's say this is so if it's greater than or equal to 3, then I want to add 3 points to overall rating. So now all of our variables have a value. Overall rating is calculated on this page. Goals, let's call it rating as well. Goal rating is calculated on this page, and performance rating is calculated on this page. Now, on this question. And now we want to calculate a total rating. So I add another variable call it total rating, and change its type to formula. A formula variable is something that helps you, as it's called, helps you write a formula and calculate different values. So to write our formula, we need IDs for our variables. We have three variables: overall rating, goals rating, and performance rating. So we need to set an ID so we can call them in our formula. So let's call this one overall and call this one goals and call this one performance. Right? So now all of these variables have an ID, and in our formula, we can set this. So it's overall. Oh, sorry, I'm putting it in ID. In the default value, you can write your formula. So overall plus goals plus performance, because these are the IDs we just set for our variables. So the total variable will be the sum of these variables. If you want, maybe let's say we want to do an average, I will add another variable, because right now the variables don't support parentheses. So you need to add another variable. Let's say I have an average rating, right? So it's also a formula, and let's set an ID for our total rating, so we can call it in the average formula. So it's total divided by 3, because there were 3 variables, and this is the average rating for our variables. So you can also pipe it, of course. Let's say this is average, and in the ending page, you can add a new table. Let's say 5 and 5, and here you can say, all right, the total rating is, I don't know, total. The average rating is average, and you can show all the variables if you want as well, and you can customize this table however you want. Like, this is the first thing that I just want to show you the possibilities, right? So this is it. So let's go and fill out the form. Let's say I'm giving good points to myself. So here we go. We have total rating of 5 and average rating of 2. And as you remember, we didn't have any decimal points enabled. If you want to show decimal points, of course, you can change this value and show more decimal points. And as all other forms in all other bases, you can see your responses in tables, charts, Kanban boards, and everything else. So you can see the scores here, all of the variables here, and you can organize it and manage your data however you need. And of course, if you edit this app, check out other tutorials. You can add more pages, add more Kanban boards, galleries, charts, and etc.